Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, saha viryankaravavahe, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti. There's a quick question we have. But when certain things happen in a particular pattern of repetition, we understand that we have made thought deposits, positive or negative. How does it explain if a person repeatedly gets some or the other major health issues? No one normally entertains a thought of suffering from disease or health problems. What kind of thoughts could have led to this? See, you are suffering from a disease, you say. It's not that disease suddenly surfaces. See, your body shows very many indications, and the disease is more of a gradual build-up. Slowly it just builds up. And we do not see that it is building up. It shows certain signs, but we ignore. This is as far as, the disease is concerned. No disease comes, suddenly one day morning. It is a gradual build-up. Now, as you say, no one is thinking directly to have problems, suffering. Nobody asks for it directly. See, why we say that? However, the law of karma says you suffer because of your own thinking. Then we have to detect. Law of karma only says this much. Your suffering, your disease, your problems, whether it is physical disease or your mental disease, doesn't make a difference. It is your own making. Then we have to go back and start thinking. We say, sir, who is going to be saying, I want to suffer? I want unhappiness. Nobody says that. No one asks for problem in life. But then we do encounter problems, disease, suffering, stress, etc. We do experience it. No one can deny we are not going through all these things. Now we ask this question, okay, according to law of karma, you are going to get only what you have asked for. That means what? When did I think in terms of I want to have migraine? I wanted to have kidney failure. When did you sit and think, let me get kidney failure, let me get kidney failure, let me get kidney failure? But because as you see the law says that. It seems like that, as though you will not get it unless you have asked for it. So you have got kidney failure means you have been thinking of kidney failure. Or in the previous Janma, you must have been a pathetic kidney doctor. Right? All the kidney doctors will say, file a case on me now. Nonsense. What do you think of yourself? It's not like that, please. It's not that today I have a kidney failure, a kidney problem. That means in previous Janma, I must have plucked somebody else's kidney. Therefore, in this Janma, I am losing my kidney. In one Janma, imagine you have taken off 200 kidneys. Right? Then you have to suffer another 100 Janmas, you have to suffer kidney failure, kidney failure, kidney failure itself. Law of karma says it doesn't work like that. However, the rule is the same. If you are suffering this is where this is a wrong thinking. The thinking is never move. In the introduction itself, I have told, and it is worth repeating any number of times. Never try to study law of karma from the effect to the cause. Never do that mistake. Right? It is so difficult for you to understand the equation, how it works. Because if at all, as far as your memory goes, when have you entertained a negative thought? One negative thought you entertain, you have to suffer for that negative thought. Then go back and think, when did I entertain that negative thought? So when I am sitting for this Vedanta class, I am about to start that Vedanta class, I say, Om Dhanavadu Dhanavunatu Shanti Shanti Shanti. I open my eyes, power goes off. Right? Now what happens? You get disturbed. What is the first thought you entertain there? Yet, is this a time? Correct? Let the power go off later. No. Say. And one thought, one negative thought. And, crucial time, your cylinder goes out. Again, another negative thought. As far back as you can go, you cannot remember you have entertained any negative thought, apart from one or two here and there. Of course, every one of us, when we go back, we can remember. I did entertain negative thoughts. No one can say, I have never entertained in my life any negative thoughts. Sir. That is not possible. Right? You can remember. But then the problem is, sir, randomly I had one thought here, one thought there, for which we say you have to go through this intense suffering, both don't tally. See, you will not be able to square the accounts. You say, yes, that thought I have entertained, this experience I have had, settled, account tallied. You cannot do that. But we go on entertaining thoughts. As long as you are entertaining thoughts, here when we say, again, what Vedanta says is, what do you mean by positive thought and what do you mean by negative thought? Remember that. Positive thought and negative thought. Then your awareness and your alertness of that thought. So both you have to account for. One, what is the nature of the thought? Positive, negative. Two, you need to understand what is the awareness that you have with you. Because the rule is same. What you sow, you reap. As you think, so you become. Says Buddha. As you think, so only you become. You keep on thinking like this, you become only that. So that is the principle here. That is the base of law of karma. And no one would be able to admit that I have entertained so many negative thoughts. I don't wish negative for anybody, sir. I have not wished, any wrong to anyone. That is why we say your mind is equated to a child. Your mind. One of the definitions for mind is child. What does a child do? There's only one chocolate left in the refrigerator, or one scoop of ice cream left in the refrigerator. You go for some shopping, you come back, you open the fridge, and that chocolate, that ice cream is missing. Right? You call the child and ask, did you eat the chocolate? The child, with a smile, it will say, no, ma. Point blank, the child will say, no, I didn't. I don't know how these guys got to know that I'm giving an example of electricity. It just happened. That's why color change. Suddenly you will see me in a different form. The child point blank says, I didn't take it. And the child, in its innocence, in its ignorance, believes the mother has accepted that statement as true. And the mother can clearly see the chocolate residues in the gums. You can see it is sticking. And the child is smiling in front of you and says, I didn't take. It will go on denying it. That is what your mind is doing, remember. It will go on denying that I have never entertained any negative thoughts, sir. All my life I have been entertaining only good. See, these people have done wrong things to me. You know that? This fellow cheated me. You know what did I do? I went to that temple, and in my prayers, I sincerely prayed, let that man live happily. This is what people say. Nalla iru. When he says, be prosperous, be good, be happy, he's not actually saying be happy. You see, he is upset and he is irritated. He is disturbed. The beauty of your mind is it camouflages the whole thing. It covers it up. So one of the fascinating statements. It says, repeat a lie 10 times. It will become truth. To whom? To you, not to others. First time you have told itself, you repeat a lie 10 times, means 10 times you don't repeat to the same person. You repeat it to different people. Right? Now, first time when you told itself, the person is taking that as a truth and he has walked out. But since you have repeated that again and again and again, you start believing as though it is real. So we believe what? Sir, I am such a good person, sir. This person really backstabbed me, but I did good to them. So you are equal to Ram Amalinga or Ramana Maharishi, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. So when you hear that story, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was taking out the scorpion from the Ganges. As he is taking it out and putting it on the ground, it stings. And again it goes and falls into it. Again this man takes and puts it back. In this aspect, me and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa are same. And therefore you also believe what? This is why I never recommend people thinking or using any examples. See, never use that phrase, because any example we give, immediately you say, you take that example and start the whole process to be complete. See, as an example, we say, when you say, I'm going to do great charity and all this, you say, have you taken care of your servant? Have you taken care of your driver? Immediately the person says, no, I've given that person the first. Every year I do this. Therefore, I pay salary on time. Every day, whatever is left over, I give it to her, give it to him. You never ask your maid to have first and then you eat. Again, you will say what? Sir, in my house, that's what we are doing. Why? I'm so scared what my wife would have put in the food. Maybe there is a poison. Suffer, they say. Diarrhea tablets. And tablet put mix panni, give. Suffer. Not poison, this is not that you literally have to die. You see, even this much is enough. 10 times you go and come. And there is I don't want to suffer all this. Therefore, you may be doing. But then you hear this example and say what? First, you ask them to have, and then you eat. Do you? We just give an example. Immediately, what happens to you is you just make a correction with reference to that facet and believe you are following the principle. You see? Technology gives this example, don't ask for discounts. And he gives example of how he bought the fan. So one fellow said, sir, when I go to buy a fan, I will also do the same thing. But that I will not do when I go to buy a car. That I will not do when I go to buy. You say, with the vegetable vendors, what is the argument? Give him no big deal. Give and go. And immediately you think what? I don't argue with that, vegetable vendor. Therefore, you are Ramana Maharishi, is it? See, this is what the problem is. That is why I try to minimize as much as possible to give examples. Because I can give examples here, but the moment I give an example, immediately you will say, sir, I never entertained that thought. When did I entertain that thought? I never entertained that thought. But then I'm having that disease. Now account for that. Now I have to go in search of another thought. Then I have to go in search of another thought. Then I have to go in search of another thought. And every thought that is brought to the surface, you will deny. Genuinely. Not faking. Remember. That's why I'm giving the example of the child. The child genuinely thinks. The mother believes him. Denying consuming the chocolate. The child genuinely believes it, no? Isn't it? Same way, you will go on denying it. That is the nature of your mind. That is the nature of my mind also. Remember, your mind, when I say, don't say that, why are you accusing? It is the nature of mind. Anyone who has mind, that nature will remain the same. So what kind of thoughts could have led to this? No clue we will have. See, the study of law of karma, we learn it to clip the tree. Hardly we pay attention to the seed. The seeds we don't pay attention to. We pay attention only to the point that we deal with is a tree. We don't deal with the seed. We want to trim the tree. Vedanta says, remove the seed. What is the seed thought? The seed thought is, as long as you believe yourself to be the little self, as long as you believe yourself to be the body, you are lying. You are speaking untruth. You are believing in something which is not the truth. According to law of karma, you will be penalized for that. You believe yourself to be the body, right? You will be penalized. You believe yourself to be the mind, you shall be penalized for that. You believe yourself to be the intellect, you will be penalized for that. Doesn't make any difference. Now, none of us want to work on this thought. All of us say at the superficial level, at the surface level, I'll clip the, the little here, cut there. I make the tree better looking. All that. That is not the purpose here, please. The purpose here is to keep it. And then you sow the seed, you water it, and keep it alive. And then the environment is conducive, the tree starts growing. And then it starts yielding the fruits. What is that thought? When we say in Vedanta, you are entertaining negative thought, you are not talking like you are entertaining negative thought. Means, let him go to hell. Let this person suffer more and more. That is not what negative thought is here. Negative thought is what? Anything which is untruth, contrary to the truth. That is negative. Anything that is towards the truth, you are asserting the truth, then it is positive. What is contrary to the truth? You are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the intellect. You are not the little self that you believe yourself to be. So says the scriptures. I am not saying, okay. I am just repeating what is being said in the scriptures. As long as you believe yourself to be that, you are entertaining negative thought, for which you will be penalized. In which area you will be penalized, that will differ from person to person. One person may make a huge material loss. Another person may make a problem with reference to the body. Another person may have problem with reference to mind. Another person may have problem with reference to the intellect. It can be with any one of these aspects. Or combination also. Little here, little there, little here, little there. Possible. So in what way that will be? It's like you have a problem in the body. Which organ it will surface first is the weakest of all that. If your heart is weak, it will attack the heart. If your brain is weak, it will attack the brain. That's it. Whichever is weaker. Now, Your weakness is defined by, philosophically, what is the weakness? Weakness is defined by to what you are most attached to. That is your weakest point. And that is where it will surface. Or when it surfaces there, you feel the magnitude of it. You experience it with so much of intensity. When it is happening in other fields, you will not experience it. So that way you feel more here. Therefore, your whole concentration goes only to that. That's about it. So what is that particular thought, sir? Vedanta will not go by the surface negative thoughts. Not like this, motivational talks. Personality development. Personality development will say, instead of entertaining negative thoughts, start entertaining positive thought. I love personality development. Personality development and all those things are all very, very, very early stage. Ethical thoughts. Entertain ethical thoughts. Don't entertain unethical, selfish, unselfish. Another way of explanation. Don't entertain selfish thoughts. Entertain unselfish thoughts. Don't speak selfish words. Speak unselfish. Don't speak harsh. Speak polite. Right? Like that. Don't do actions which are very gross. Don't perform selfish actions. Perform unselfish actions. And the example he gives is after you. After you. There is no, what is it? Apre you. Yes. After you. After you. You can afford to say that in Germany, US and all that. In India, you can't. Because you say apre you, there are 200 fellows standing. Right? By that time this fellow passes, another fellow has come. By that time this fellow goes, another fellow is already there. And one auto fellow you say apre you, one car fellow comes. One car fellow you say, one bike fellow comes. By the time that bike fellow goes, one pedestrian is standing there to cross. Permanently you have to be in one place only, fellow said. We're not talking about in the physical action, please. Have the attitude of where there is a possibility for you to say, do it. These are all very, very preliminary, remember. Very elementary. You see, these things come in only when you grow further. We are discussing here the essential dimension. From that essential dimension, what is negative thought? Anything contrary to truth. Now, what is the parameter for you to define the truth? Who has to say what is truth? That is a question. See, everyone is not qualified. Everyone can't claim. Yeah, this is the truth, sir. That is the reality. This is the reality. On what basis? When you ask this question only, the next two chapters come into picture. The theory of perception and illusion, the supreme reality. You see, subsequent idea comes from here. So essentially we say, you are having whatever you are experiencing today is your own creation. If it is my own creation, when did I do anything wrong? When did I entertain any negative thought? And immediately our common sense thinking will say, negative thought means what? This is what Vedanta says. When you say positive, negative, ethical, moral, all those things is stemming from a very, very basic commonsensical thinking. Ethics, there's no big subject to be studied here. That's why Westerners got totally confused when they started reading the scriptures here, religious texts, and Prasthanatraya. They said, oh, authority, yeah? Yes, what is authority? They said Vedas, Upanishads. And they go to Vedas, they say, Naham manyesu vedeti, nona vedeti vedacha. Yonas tat veda tat veda, nona vedeti vedacha. Yes, what? Yes. Whoever amongst us who knows it, knows it. Whoever amongst us doesn't know it, know it. Repeat. Whoever amongst us knows it, knows it. Correct. Whoever amongst us who doesn't know it, know it. Says, I think something wrong with the text. Then you go to another text. Starting. Then they ask, okay, what is the next one, sir? Prasthanatraya. Another one you said, no, what is that? Brahma Sutra. Oh, Brahma Sutra. What is that? Yeah, let us study Brahma Sutra. He said, therefore, let us study Brahman. Huh? Yes. What? Therefore, sir, therefore comes at the end of the book. End of only you can say therefore. You don't start by saying therefore, which means you have already concluded. I said, this book also has no meaning. Last option they had was Bhagavad Gita. They take up Bhagavad Gita. That man will hear Arjuna is speaking, don't kill. I am not going to kill. Krishna, who is supposed to be the teacher, who is presenting arguments for war. You have to fight, he says. Now, these people could not understand, because how can there be any sort of religious literature which doesn't talk about ethics at all, actually? In fact, it is positively anti-ethics, as it were. Because here the student says, I want to be ethical. Injury, killing, varna sangraha, social problem, this problem, economic problem, ancestral problem, so many problems, he goes on, building. All that will happen because of this war. Let me be begging and living my life, but I will not kill people. I will not fight this war. I don't want. He is speaking for non-violence, Arjuna. And their understanding of religious textbook is what? The students will be violent. The teacher will be speaking non-violence. Now, suddenly here they come, say, in the Upanishads, you will not find, nowhere you will find any discussion on ethics. No discussion about ethics, morality, and all those things. And Brahma Sutras, no discussion of it. Bhagavad Gita, one step above, exact opposite. And these guys talk these books as authority textbooks on religion. What nonsense, man. Something wrong with these people. They say, we don't talk about it. Why? Because ethics is a matter of common sense. Full stop. All ethics you can talk about, morality that you can talk about, is a matter of common sense for these people. What is commonsensical thinking? Very, very basic. What is very, very basic here? Do unto others what you wish others to do unto you. Don't do unto others what you do not wish others to do unto you. That's all. I don't like somebody doing this to me. Therefore, I should not do this to others. That is why even a man who is stealing doesn't like to be stolen, isn't it? If someone were to steal from him, what happens? Is he going to appreciate and say, wow, fantastic, wow, correct, you are right? He doesn't say that. He says what? He claims, he feels that to be a wrong action. No. I was saying, this beautiful, fantastic movies are there. What's this movie? Italian Job. Fantastic one. These guys go and steal from there. Right? From bank, these guys go and steal. And what happens to all those people who have deposited their money in the bank is not their problem. Right? I'm going to steal from there. And one fellow steals from these fellows. Then these guys get so annoyed. Say, how dare you can do such a thing? And the whole story is how these people go and get back the whole thing from him. Steal again from that fellow. Now, who is a hero? Who is a villain there? Right. He himself is a thief. He doesn't like that. No. The one who is a liar never likes to be lied to. Therefore, what Vedanta says is, it just, dismisses the whole thing. Entire ethics gets dismissed directly with just one statement, one sutra. With one word, in one word it dismisses. I don't like to be a victim of violence. Therefore, I ought not to be violent towards anyone. Full stop. I like someone being so compassionate. When someone is compassionate towards me, I like it. I enjoy that. Therefore, what I have to do, I also have to do it. This is called dharma. Purushartha, he says, no. In law of karma, he has introduced two words to us. Two words he introduces. Prarabdha and Purushartha. Right. Purushartha, artha means obtainable, desirable. Purusha means being. What is desirable to a being? Purushartha is a compound word, like Vedanta. Veda plus Anta, same way. Purushartha, Purusha plus Artha. Artha means desirable. What is desirable to being? What is desirable to being? All that we desire in life is only two things. Essentially, primarily we say two things. What is it? Kanchana and Kamini, says in the language of Bhajagovindam. In the language of Shankara, he uses these two words, Kanchana and Kamini. Kanchana means gold. Kamini means woman. Literal meaning of the word. Kanchana represents what? Wealth. Women represent what? Enjoyment. That's it. These are the two things. What is that represents? These two represents two desirable things for human being. What is it? Wealth and enjoyment. Artha and Kama. So, Purushartha. What is Purushartha? Is a desirable. What is desirable? One thing is desirable. Wealth is desirable for everyone. And after getting that wealth, what you have to do? enjoy. So you acquire a car only to enjoy the drive, isn't it? You acquire a house only to enjoy the living there. You acquire a fantastic, a better mattress. Initially, they used to have that cotton. Then came that coir one. Then came spring coir. Inside the coir, they'll have springs in that. It was something fascinating. Then came what, sir? Memory foam. You buy one by one, you pay more and get a better mattress. You get mattresses for 1,500 rupees and you have mattresses for 1.5 lakhs also. Now, if you can afford to spend that 1.5 lakhs to get that mattress, you buy that mattress. With that, what happens? Why do you want to spend 1.5 lakhs for the mattress? Only to enjoy a good sleep, isn't it? I can sleep nicely. That is at least the hope. Whether sleep you get or not is a different thing. The hope is that. This is the idea. The idea is that you buy a new car. Hope is what? You can enjoy the drive. That's the hope. You may be able to drive, you may not be able to drive because it depends on the road conditions. Right. Now, this is Artha and Kama in the traditional language. Purushartha, when they say, these are the two things. Now comes the third dimension. So far, these two things are common to everyone. No one needs to be taught. You don't need any education. You don't require any training. You don't require any knowledge. Automatically, you will be pursuing these two things. What is it? Acquisition and enjoyment. These two things are the very foundation of Purusha. Purusha means human being. Remember. Purusha means man and woman put together. Don't think Purusha means only for man, please. All human beings have two things. No one needs to be trained. No one needs to be taught. No one needs to be told that you are supposed to be seeking enjoyment. You are supposed to be seeking wealth. Everyone desires it. Only thing is the way in which you are going to seek, the area in which you are going to seek, the method that you are going to adopt is a difference. But these two are common for all of us. Now, this is where law of karma comes into picture. Up to this point, you don't require any law. You don't require any education, please. You don't need the Shastras at all. So we say, when you feel thirsty, drink water. You don't require Buddha to come and tell you that. Whenever you feel like sleepy, sleep. Whenever you are hungry, eat. You don't require Krishna, you don't require those, Brahma Sutras and, Upanishads to come and tell you these things. We don't require the Shastras, we don't require those masters. We require the masters only to tell us something. What is it? In the name of me pursuing my Arthakama, this pursuit of Arthakama, in that name, you can't afford to do whatever you feel like doing. Not possible. You cannot do it. This is where the common sense comes into picture. Application of thinking comes into picture. Even though I call it as common sense, it's not really common. Huh? Remember, it's not common. Very rare to see someone doing it. So when you have to do it, you take one stand. If it is the other, you take another stand. All of us live only double standard only. We never live with that single parameter. Now, to take that single parameter and live is where the idea of dharma was given. What is a dharma? In the pursuit of your pursuit of wealth, when you are pursuing your enjoyment, your pleasures, when you are trying to acquire wealth, you have to follow one rule. If you break that rule, you will be penalized. This is the part of law of destiny. Remember, you will be penalized is the law of destiny. So anytime we discuss about penalization, anytime we discuss about the fruit, enjoyment of the fruit, immediately you need to understand we are discussing law of destiny. Right? You cannot do that. Why you cannot do that? There is a rule. In this universe, there is a system. There is a principle. What is that principle? The principle is you will not be allowed to do what you don't like others doing to you. You will not be allowed. One half of the truth. One half of the rule. Another half of the rule says you have to do what you wish others do to you. These are the two dimensions of the truth. One half. One side of the coin, other side of the coin. It is one coin. Two sides to it. So dharma has two sides to it. And every human being wishes this. This sense of dharma is existing in every human being. You will never find a person in your life who says, I love somebody where to backstab me, sir. I cherish that, No one says that. Someone shows affection towards me, I hate it. Nobody says that. You may say, I hate the way in which you are expressing that, but from this person, I don't want love, but I want love from the other person that you say. All those things you can say, but no one says, I don't like someone to be kind towards me. No one says it. Therefore, what is it? Sanatana Dharma, universal principle this is. Universal rule this is. When you are breaking that universal rule, that Sanatana Dharma, you have to pay the price for it. When you break it, you are breaking one versus the whole world. You can never succeed. When you contribute, one versus the whole world. Like ages back, I went to meet one person here, of the company for a seminar. We are organizing Swamiji's seminar, so I went there to ask their, company's participation. So after a discussion, all those things, this man asked me, how do you live? He said, how do you live? Means I also eat. I also breathe. Same air only. I'm also breathing same air. You're also breathing same air. I'm also eating. You're also eating. I'm also drinking. All the What are you asking? No. What I'm asking is, are you getting paid? He thought, I'm getting paid. Swamiji gives me a cutting, he thought. So there is a percentage understanding we have, 60% of it will go to him and 40% or, 35, 65 or, 80, 20, some percentage. He thought. When I explained to him, I told him, see, nothing we get. It's all going to the institution. If everything goes there, how do you do? He said, the classes also how you are doing? I said, classes are free only. He said, see, classes also free. Use also this, then how are you living, man? What do you do for your bua? Is what he was asking. Eating. What do you do for that? Say, I asked him, what you do? I'm working for the company. Which company? He said, I'm sitting in this office. Okay. Which company? He said, this company. This is, how big is this company? He said, you work for the company takes care of you, correct? Yes, sir. I said, I work for the society takes care. My company is far bigger. He said, you talk well, man. He said, you're a good salesman. I said, it's not a sales talk, man. It's the truth. Said, you contribute the whole thing. You fight also, what happens? Imagine you have to fight to the entire world. There is a chance for you to win over. Because the whole nature functions in this fundamental truth. That's why this is called a Sanatana Dharma. We don't use the word ethics. We use the word Dharma here. That is why first thing in the Purushartha, they kept Dharma. Then comes Artha and Kama. But even though in your understanding, it starts with Artha Kama only. Your life starts with Artha and Kama. But in that pursuit, you cannot be doing things which are against the rule. So since you cannot do things against the rule, you are going to get the result of it. What is the rule? The rule is you cannot do things. And when we function, we just entertain one random thought here, one random thought there, one random thought here. Entertaining those thoughts, we think what? Nothing should happen to me. But all those random thoughts, random words, random deeds of yours gets amalgamated. It works in that equation. That's why we say it is, the effect is decided by what? By your own cause, your own action, whatever you have done, whatever you have thought. How long this will go on, sir? I do this, I get the good result, and then I do that, I get that good result. I do this, I get that good result. This cycle, I do to you, you do to me. I do to you, you do to me. I do to you, you do to me. This cycle will continue for how long? As far as my understanding goes, it continues till this lifespan. Right? We cannot conceive anything beyond that. This is where again the Shastras comes and says, no, it continues even beyond that. When you understand that, suddenly we get into one issue. What? That means perennially I will be circling myself within this cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. Because every cause produces that effect produces a cause again. It becomes a cause for the next one. The previous cause, current effect. Current effect, next becomes a cause for the next effect. Becomes the cause for the next effect. Becomes a cause for the next effect. Which means I continuously having only good cause, good effect. Bad cause, bad effect. Positive cause, positive effect. Negative cause, negative effect. I go on entertaining Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. So constantly I'm going to be stuck in that cycle of this. After a point of time comes what? That matured personality, which has gone through this cycle, gets fed up with that cycle and says, is there a possibility for me to escape the very cycle? That is where another dimension gets introduced called moksha. That's why they say Purushartha are four. There are four aspects to Purushartha. The first one is Artha, Kama. Second one, Kama. Artha and Kama means acquisition, enjoyment. But then this Artha Kama cannot be done anyway. Why? Because we are living in a world, because I have this desire in me. This thought is called dharma. What is that thought? Natural thought. What is that natural thought? It is inherent in us. Natural in the sense it is inherent in us. Nobody has planted it in you. You see, naturally you get this thought. What is that? I don't like someone doing certain things to me. I like something when people do to me. This thought nobody has planted into you. Isn't it? Extending that only, we have this idea of dharma. What is it? I'm not living in isolation. I'm living in a society. I live in the world. World in the sense not only human beings, please. Animals are there, plants are there, and objects are there. Material is there. Minerals are there. So I have to transact with those things also. When I am transacting with those things, what is my primary job? I have to ensure that I continue to get what I like and I don't get what I don't like. How can I ensure? Through my thoughts, through my emotions, through my words, through my actions, only I have to ensure that. If you are acting with this understanding, you are leading a dharmic life, ethical life. This is all ethics is. Right? Ethics nowadays, don't think as though it is a huge subject. It's not a huge subject. It's a very, very small idea. When you start living that life, a point comes where you no longer get satisfied with it. Somewhere you start asking this quick question, sir, what is the way I can get out? Is there? So that karma that you have already accumulated earlier through your own thoughts, words and deeds, thoughts including emotions also, right? Plus your current doing, what you are going to do now, together shapes your future. This is law of karma. Law of destiny talks only about your present state. So as far as law of destiny is concerned, you are a created. That's it. You are not a creator. With reference to future only, you are a creator. What these people use, as they use two words for it. The creator and created, they use a better word. It looks very, very negative. Created looks, as though it is over. It's not like that. What it means is, I have to experience the consequences. I have to go through the consequences. So as a person who is a consequence receiver, they have a word. As an actor, they have a word. As a creator, as the one who is causing the cause. They say karta and bhokta. So remember these two words. Every human being has two sets of organs of perception, organs of action. Through organs of action, when you are functioning, you are called an actor, called a karta. That karta is the one who is causing, is the one doing action. Action in the sense, thought, word, deed. All three put together is called action. So in this context, action, you have to take it as this. Of the three, the hierarchy of validity, importance is thought first, word second, deed third. You don't suffer for your actions. You suffer more for your words. You don't suffer for your words. You suffer more for your thoughts. Suffer in the sense you experience. So, as an individual, you have two sets of organs. Therefore, you have two roles to play in life. One is when you are performing action, you are a karta. When you are experiencing, you are a bhokta. Consequence receiver. Causing, effect. With reference to cause, you are a karta. With reference to effect, you are a bhokta. The problem we have is karta and bhokta are two totally different dimensions. That is why as bhokta, we keep asking this question. What did I do? See, the moment you ask the question, what did I do? Doing belongs to which domain? Karta domain. That I is same. See, I remains the same thing. But the problem is that same I, who is a bhokta, actually asks the question, when I have been a karta, sir, by definition, bhokta can never be a karta. Correct? A karta can never be a bhokta, by definition. By definition, it is not possible. Now, you can't change that. You see, experiencer is experiencer. Enjoyer is enjoyer. Sufferer is sufferer. When you are suffering, we always ask a question, when did I do, what did I do to deserve this? That question should be asked when. As a karta, when you are executing actions, you should foresee it is me who is going to move into the other direction and stand and enjoy it. It's the same person. It's like, those who perform on the stage. That's how we got the name personality. The word personality is there, root is this word persona, means mask. Persona is the mask they used to wear in the theater in those days. In the theater when they are performing, the same person will be performing three characters. Because they don't have many, people on stage. They can't have, casting cannot be done for so many people. So everyone can't do it. So what they used to do is, the person will turn around, take this and put this one, and turns this side, he becomes a different character now. Then the whole dialogue, body language, everything will differ. Then suddenly he will turn this side and take this one and put another one and come this side. That mask that they were wearing was called persona. That's exactly what we also do. What are we doing, sir? The moment I walk into the classroom, I am a teacher. put on that. The moment I walk into the house, I am a father, put on that. The moment I walk into the club, I am the president, put on that, put on this, put on this, put on this. What we fail to recognize is it is that same person who is putting on all these things. Same way that Karta, blissfully unaware that it is he who is going to be taking a position of a Bhokta and go through the consequences. And the Bhokta never understands it is he as Karta did things, not as Bhokta. As Karta, I have performed. So what is it? The rule is simple now. Today's Bhokta is enjoying going through certain experiences. Because of what? Because of the same me as Karta did something. Right? As Bhokta, can I understand that? Not possible. Now, what law of karma says is, as Karta, what is the essential dimension? Is as Karta, your essential dimension is not your prarabdha, it is your purushartha. This is the beauty of law of karma. If law of destiny only is there, means finished. See, law of destiny is, fatalistic. In fact, even people who say I'm a fatalist is not an absolute fatalist. See, a fatalistic personality should do what? You should not lock your house. When you go out of station, you should not lock your house. If I'm destined to have it, I will have it. If I'm not destined to have it, I will not have it when I come back anything in the house. Huh? Then you are a fatalist. Right? I will not go to school. If I'm destined to be a graduate, I will become graduate. If I am not destined to be a graduate, I will not become graduate. Therefore, what I have to do? I don't have to do anything. If I'm destined, I will get it. If I'm not destined, I will not get it. Therefore, you lead to what? No? You lead to tamas. And Ramatirtha says the whole world is in tamas. What is tamas? Inertia. What is inertia? Inertia is not in the state of rest only, please. It is continuous motion. Remember, law of inertia is not only no movement, it is continuous movement. Right? That's called inertia. Now, whole world, Ramatirtha says, in a state of inertia. Tamas. Then effort is needed to make it. That effort is given to you as a human being. That effort is called Purushartha. The power to put in that effort. What is the effort? The effort is to change the very direction. What is the direction in which your thoughts are moving now? Thoughts have been moving outside to the world. And it is moving so freely. No resistance, nothing. It just keeps flowing automatic. And you believe just a thought? No. Say. The power of Purushartha. What is the power there? Tremendous trust is needed for shift of direction. Because it's moving in the speed. To shift it, it needs tremendous power, tremendous strength. That one dimension, one aspect of your personality is called, which is going to be helping you to shift that strength. That power is coming from this aspect called Purushartha in you. So Purushartha has two angles to it. One angle is the goal. Right? One angle is the goal. Another aspect of Purushartha is the angle of the means. What is that you do in the path, in the action, in the means? One is sadhana, another one is sadhya. Right? The sadhya dimension of it is what is referred as dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Right? Another way of analyzing the same thing is first layer. This is very preliminary. Same thing you analyze from another layer. Says your sadhya is artha kama, sadhana is dharma. This. Another layer goes and says, no. Your dharma, artha, kama, all three sadhyas, sadhanas, sadhyam is moksha. This is the third layer of understanding. So Purushartha is studied from these three different layers. From the angle of the goal and the angle of the means to reach to the goal. What is that which is going to take you to that? So first one, you say artha kama, that's all. Then we say, no, artha kama one, include dharma. Then we say, no, it is this. And there are people who say, Ishwaran, it's not like that. It is actually kama only first. Only kama. Then artha gets added to it. Enjoyment is the thing. Acquisition is only secondary, they say. Then you add dharma to it. Then you have to add moksha to it. The most developed individual is the one who goes right up to that moksha. So the term Purushartha we study from these two angles. Today we have seen the angle of sadhyam. Right. The next class we will see from the angle of sadhana. Right. Then our understanding of that word Purushartha will be complete. Then apply it to law of karma. Okay. We'll see you in the next class. Right.